Good day, my name is Jesse. I'm going to be solving a Hackerrank problem while screen recording to add on my portfolio site as a pre-interview whiteboard uh, to kind of show you my process when I'm trying to solve various issues. So the one I'm doing now is called Hackerrank in a string. It is labeled as easy difficulty. Okay, so I have already read through this before starting it, so I don't have to spend too much time actually reading it on the video. So basically, we'll go to the sample input. So the first input from standard in is going to be a number that's going to indicate how many words there are going to be. So we have 1, 2 here. And we're looking for the word Hackerrank inside of here, except, and it has to, Hackerrank has to be in order, but they don't necessarily have to be, the letters don't necessarily have to be next to each other. And so if the word Hackerrank can be spelled after skipping whatever letters, as long as they're in order and they're all there and it's complete, you print yes. And if not, then you click no. Print no. And this time I'm wanting to use the C programming language. And they already have this set up for me to read from standard in. So, let's see, what they put here is Q, and so in this example, Q would be 2, and so scan F. Okay, that's yeah. So that's putting the first line, which is a 2, into here, and turning it into an integer. And for int a0 equals 0, a0 is less than q. Okay, so for 2 times, or for q times, it's going to make character pointer s, which is going to be memory allocated to 512,000 times the character size. And after that's allocated, then they're going to stick the next line inside of there with a scan F. Alright. And let's see, do I need to print this out? Okay, so I'm going to have to print this out. So I'm going to, up here, I'm wanting to do constant car pointers. Yes, just for the sake of having them up here. Okay, so my approach to this is I'm going to have the word Hackerrank also in a constant string. I'm just going to shorten it to HR, Hackerrank. And let's do an integer called HRI that's going to start off as 0. And the HRI is going to be the index in here. And so as we go through, we're going to do a for loop on these strings, on each string. And for each of these strings, we're going to, every time we see, we're going to start with H, and then every time we find an H, then we'll increment HRI. And then when we go back around the loop, and then we have an A, and then a C, and then we have to find each one, and after we found each one, then we can press yes. And if the loop exits, and HR of I. Well, let's see, the last one should be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 characters, so that means, and this is incremented every time it finds one, so this should be 10. Right, so we're going to do int HR last I is equal to, actually, I'm going to do length is equal to 10, because HRI needs to equal 10 if it's going to be considered as found. And let me make this a constant just in case I tried to override it for whatever reason. Okay, so now we're going to have the string length, and I see that they imported string for me already. Alright, so let's do, I believe this strlen should have a long int. I believe it's long int. So long int length is equal to string length of s of the character. Okay, and so what I'm going to be doing here is for int I equals 0, I is less than length I plus plus. So this is going to go through every character on this string, and when it goes through every character, the target character that we're going to be looking for in the Hackerrank constant is going to be HR of HRI. So this is the target character. So we can put this in a so if S of I equals that, then HR of I is going to be incremented. And down here is if HR of I is equal to HR length, then we can go ahead and print the string yes. And then after everything's said and done, so this is for each word, so I want to make sure that I do this, have each word do this, is if HR of I is less than, then we're going to print no. Alright, I could look at this and try to double check it, but I'm going to go ahead and run it. If it works, and what I was thinking of is right, then it'll go. And if not, I'm going to look through the thing real quick. Implicit declaration of the function print. Do you mean printf? Yes, I do. I do mean printf, and this is why I love IDEs. And also, while this was going on, I remembered I need to put the new line. Otherwise, it's all going to be one big old messy string that's not going to register as correct, more than likely. Alright. Yes. Okay. So I definitely did something here. Okay, so this is for each, if HR of I equals HR length, then I'm going to print yes. Okay, so the length is going to be the string length of S. And for int I is 0, I plus plus, so this is going to be for every character. If S of I is equal to HR of HR of I plus plus. Okay, okay. Well, one thing that I'm seeing is for each word, I need to make sure that HR of I is equal to 0 again. Let's try that. Maybe that was it. All right. Congratulations, you passed the sample test. Now let's try all of the others. If I can pass this one, I was just about to say if I pass this one, it was okay. No, I do not. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Since I am having a little bit of an issue here. So yes is yes, no is no. HR is Hackerrank, and HRI. That's not necessarily to initialize that yet. The constant int HR length is 10, and scanf. Okay, so for int a0 equals 0. Okay, well, one of the things I want to do, I'm not sure why they didn't do this already, is I'm going to initialize those up there. And aha. I've got an idea. The printf, that's long digit. I'm wondering if this is returning, so 18 and 11. Okay, yeah, that's, okay, so that's correct. It's getting the correct length. And then the HR of I is equal to 0. And for I is equal to 0, let me just run this in the background. I was wondering if those initializations had anything to do with it. Nope. Okay, so if S of I is equal to HR of HRI, then HRI is incremented. If aha, I think this is it. I don't usually code in C, but this should be, let's try that real quick. I'm wondering if it's going through there too much. Yep, that was it. That was it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So all I did was what was taking me so long right there is that I forgot the break. And so even just because that first test case threw me off, because by the time it got to the end, the last letter that fit was this last letter anyway, so it didn't go over twice. So that is it. Well, thanks for watching this one, and I'm probably gonna make another one when I get to some of the more difficult ones. These are pretty easy. I'm not used to doing stuff in C, but it's not too bad. Maybe I wonder if I might do one in assembly if this does. No, they don't do assembly. But I might be able to fit some in there with C. I'll have to see. But I'm going to try to do each one of these with a different language that I am claiming to be able to do stuff with. And I'm always learning more, and I'm looking forward to learning more with whoever I get to join in their company. And the main thing is for giving whichever company that I'm going to be hired at the most value as possible. And by showing you some of these algorithms, I'm trying to make you more confident and trusting me with helping you with some of the problems that you face in your day-to-day life in your company. So I will make another video soon, and I will see you.